Hello, friends. Isn't it good to have a testimony? Isn't it great to know that God still works in the lives of ordinary people like me? I am witness to many wonderful, wonderful orchestrations of God's power and foreknowledge. And I want to share one more of my experiences with you. Now, I was supposed to have attended my psychiatric clinic the week before last Tuesday because it's now Sunday morning and it's a new week. So not the Tuesday gone before this Sunday morning, the Tuesday before that. But even before that, I was so strapped for cash that I had to be home almost all week. And not having any money to go to the psychiatric clinic, I kept on asking Jehovah, Lord, how is this going to work? Where am I going to get the money from to go to the clinic? And I was met with no great answer except the calm assurance that things would be okay and things would be worked out because I usually take a monthly injection for paranoid schizophrenia. And friends, little did I know that a miracle of circumstances was about to be wrought in my life. And so, as the time came closer to the clinic, me being at home, lying with my head, looking up at the ceiling, wondering, where am I going to get my taxi fare from to go to the hospital? I, was thinking to borrow the money in the final analysis from an elderly friend who lived around the road from me. Well, I kept on delaying and wondering if I should have or shouldn't have. But on the Monday evening before the clinic, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to ask Miss Joy for a loan, about $500 or $1,000 or so to go to the clinic. So I stepped out of my home, and as I was going down the road, I saw a neighbor who lived in front of me, and I said hello to him, and we exchanged courtesies and just a little talk. But there was somebody else in the distance whom I saw going down the road and thought it was another neighbor. But it ended up that that person, having heard my voice being such a distinctive voice that almost everybody knows now, he just automatically turned around when I opened my mouth. I wasn't talking to him. I didn't know who it was because I wasn't seeing him so clearly, him being so far in the distance. So when he turned around, he said, "What one, Sean?" I said, "Me there, And he started a conversation. He stopped. And I was saying, sorry, but me not really see the person so clear. He said to me, "Well, if you not see me so clear, walk me out here them and look." So I laughed. I said, "Oh." And I realized who it was. It was another childhood friend who had lived up the road from me, who migrated to the United States of America a number of years now and got married to another childhood friend of mine, a female. And, so as he waited for me and I, caught up to him, we started talking and walking at the same time. And I was saying that, say tomorrow I'm a psychiatric clinic and I go on the road, go borrow one money for my fear from a friend. He didn't say anything. But we kept on talking as he kept on walking, and I realized that having been here in Jamaica for some time, at this present moment, he was in the process of going to the airport to go back to New York. So it was like a 1 in a million chance that I would have caught him and caught up to him and seen him before he left. And the funny thing about it is that as we kept on walking, and I told him, as I reached, a certain, pace with him, I said, may I turn back now because I up the road I'm going to borrow that money from that lady. he dipped into his pocket, friends, and he took out $1,000 Jamaican bill and a 20 US dollar bill. And I said, no, it's all right. You don't have to, give me that money. It's okay. He said, no, man. How far away I come from, in that he meant in Jamaican terms, we have been long-standing friends. And him say, me say, you don't have to do it. Him say, it's all right, man. Me know, but how far away I come from. And friends, right then and there on that spot, I got my fare to go to the psychiatric clinic, and I could have bought some things to cook for my time when I would be down after the initial administering of the injection. And it was a day before the clinic. I was broke for days. And my good friend, who has always been generous, always been kind, always been a stand-up gentleman, Mr. O, I'll call him Mr. O.B. God bless you, sir. I thank you for having listened to the voice of God to impart to me the faith that I needed to go to the clinic. And I said to him, you didn't have to give it to me. And he said, no, far where I come from. And as I turned back, I thank God immensely for having given me that testimony. And he would have just gone a little way down the road to stop by his friend who was going to take him to the airport to go back to America. That very same day, that very same moment, he only had on a backpack on his back. He was traveling light. And I'm just overwhelmed every time that God gives me these testimonies, because it's in the small ways that I see how big God is. And He can do the same for you. Place yourself under the Lordship of Jehovah and His Son Jesus Christ and the comforts of the Holy Ghost and the guidance, ministration, and protection of His holy angels. You can't go wrong serving God, friends. And time is running out. Jesus is coming back soon. And He wants you to say yes to Him today, like I said yes to Him years ago. And He keeps on doing more and more and more and more, and proving Himself more and more to me. Friends, you need not be afraid. You need not be ashamed. You need not wonder where your provision is coming from, like I doubted. And I do doubt sometimes, because as you see, God always has a way worked out. I caught my friend at the very moment that he was going back to America. And I was blessed, immensely blessed by him. God bless you all. And I pray this testimony would have been a lifeline for somebody out there who needed to know that God still works and rules in and over the affairs of men. Take heart. Keep on running the race that is set before you. And God bless you all.